Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2020 Chevrolet Camaro SS. In this video, I'll be giving you all a total point of view walkthrough of the entire car, from the engine to the trunk and everything in between. Of course, I'll also take it for a thorough test drive and get plenty of sound clips. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in, start her up, and let her run. For 2020, the Camaro is offered with quite the color palette. There's a lot of really unique hues to choose from. This example is finished in shadow gray metallic. A smart key entry system also comes standard, so as long as you have the key fob in your pocket, you can lock and unlock the car via the chrome buttons on the driver and passenger side door handles. Inside, there's 5 different themes to choose from. This one has the ceramic white package, so you have ceramic white on the doors and the middles of the seats. Of course, the Camaro 2 SS comes standard with leather upholstery. It's a pretty sweet layout. The Camaro continues to be offered in both coupe and convertible body styles. Starting price for a 1SS coupe is $37,995, while a 2SS is $43,995. Both those prices include a $995 destination charge. Today's tester includes a handful of optional extras as well, the most notable two being magnetic ride control and the new 10-speed automatic transmission. You also have a dual-mode exhaust system and, of course, the ceramic white interior package. Total MSRP for what you see here, including destination, is $47,475. To start, all you have to do is make sure you have the key fob within the interior, then just put your foot on the brake and hit the dash mounted button to go. The Camaro is currently in its 6th generation, which was first introduced for the 2016 model year. I was fortunate enough to attend the launch event for that car way back when, so that's something I'll definitely never forget, but it's also been quite fun keeping up with all the Camaro updates since. I've had experience with the turbo 4-cylinder, the V6, of course the SS, and the brawny ZL1. For 2020, the Camaro basically rides on the coattails of the 2019 model, which saw some significant styling and mechanical updates. 2020 also sees some subtle tweaks here and there, mainly to the exterior styling, but as far as the interior is concerned, it's pretty much the same layout as the 2016 model. Every Gen 6 Camaro I've driven up to this point has been just an absolute blast. Of course, the sweet spot of the lineup is the SS, with the awesome LT1 V8 making 455 horsepower. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Probably the most welcomed update for 2020 is the addition of a new Camaro model called the LT1. It's basically equipped like a base model 1LT, but it has the LT1 V8. So if you want all that horsepower and none of the frills, that car starts at $34,995 for the coupe and $40,995 for the convertible. Now let's go ahead and pop the hood and talk about the powertrain. The SS is powered by a 6.2-liter all-aluminum V8, again known as the LT1. It produces 455 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 455 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM. 0 to 60 times vary just a little bit between the manual and automatic transmissions, the automatic being a little bit quicker, but you can expect 0 to 60 to take in the low 4-second range. Part of the new generation of GM small block V8s, The LT1 boasts direct fuel injection, cylinder deactivation when equipped with the automatic transmission, as well as variable valve timing. It's an overhead valve engine with 2 valves per cylinder. The front end features gaping intakes to provide plenty of additional cooling to the powertrain and brakes. While if you look up top, there's also a set of vents in the hood to help with heat extracting and general aerodynamics. As far as fuel economy, the numbers vary just a little bit between the automatic and manual transmissions. For the automatic, EPA estimates range between 16 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway. In normal day-to-day use, you can expect an average of around 20 miles per gallon. Premium fuel is recommended for maximum performance, while total tank capacity is 19 gallons. As far as transmissions, you have 2 different options. A standard Tremec 6-speed manual transmission with active rev matching, or the newly optional 10-speed automatic. I first got a taste of the 10-speed in the ZL1 a while back, and I'll be perfectly honest, it is just as fantastic in the SS. The 10-speed replaces the previously optional 8-speed. You can shift the transmission manually if you want to, either via the console shifter itself or by a pair of steering wheel paddle shifters. The Camaro is of course rear-wheel drive, and on the SS you have a standard limited slip differential to help control torque delivery out back and maximize traction. Not only that, but there's a custom launch control system built in so you can dial the car exactly how you want it. There's also a line lock system, so if you're at a drag strip, for example, you can lock the front brakes and burn out the rear tires to heat them up. Obviously, the Camaro SS is a pretty quick car, and with the new technology that they have nowadays with both the manual and the 10-speed automatic, it just makes it so much quicker, or it allows you to really take advantage of what the LT1 is capable of. So for the 10-speed, it is a completely different animal from the previous 8-speed. Now, there's this performance algorithm that you can enact in both manual mode and automatic mode. So for example, I'm in 10th gear right now. If I hold down the left paddle, it just went from 10 to 2. And you heard how quick it shifts. Like, it's absolutely unbelievable. So if anybody is wondering, like, well, is the transmission going to constantly hunt for gears because there's so many? No. And when you're driving normally, you don't notice any of that. Like, it shifts so quick and so smooth. Like, it's just as good, if not better, than a lot of dual clutch transmissions that I've driven. So when you hold down that paddle, or when you're in automatic mode, if you give it a quick blip of the throttle, it will enact that algorithm. So it will automatically drop from whatever gear you're in all the way down to the lowest gear possible, and then you just go. It is really, really fascinating. But if you're a die-hard manual fan, then you also get the added benefit of the active rev matching feature with the Tremec 6-speed manual. Now, that's a system that you can turn on or off at your discretion. It's actually pretty cool. Like, if you enjoy driving manual transmissions, then you enjoy rev matching. That's just a fact. But with the active rev matching feature, you don't need to do it yourself. You just press the clutch in, downshift, the engine automatically rev matches, and you just keep on going. Now, it's a really nice thing in my experience on the track because, you know, even maybe more so if you're not quite as experienced with driving a manual on the track, or super hard, or racing, like, you can hit a corner really hard and not have to think about like your footwork and stuff. You just downshift and go. So you get the fun and the enjoyment of driving a manual transmission, but you have a little bit of automated stuff in there too. So it's kind of a nice blend, I guess. In the center console, you have a drive mode select switch that allows you to go between tour, sport, track, and snow ice. The different modes control various vehicle parameters accordingly to either maximize, performance or traction, or just keep everything balanced for day-to-day use. You also have a traction control button up here that allows you to toggle traction on or off, but if you hold it down, it disables traction and stability control. While the different drive modes do have their own preset parameters for things like powertrain response, you can individually control steering and suspension firmness by just going through the infotainment system. Just click on settings and then up to driving mode, and that's where you can control all of that stuff. Of course, suspension adjustment would only be if you have magnetic ride control. Also, if you have the active exhaust system, you can control the level of sound through this screen. You can link it to the drive mode or control it manually. Like Stealth, for example, is going to be the quietest setting. And Track is going to be the loudest. It's pretty cool stuff. Chevrolet advertises this as a dual mode exhaust, but the level of sound does vary between the different driving modes and your driving style, so it really is more or less an active exhaust. Those that have known me for a while know that I am a muscle car guy through and through. I love V8s, I love the feel and the sound and just the experience and just everything about it. Truthfully, I very much enjoy the Camaro, Mustang, and the Challenger, all for different reasons. I think the Challenger is the best as far as, you know, just the raw muscle car, just the classic nature of what a muscle car is all about. I think the Mustang does a really good job at blending muscle and sport. And for me, just as far as pure driving enjoyment, I love the Camaro. I think, you know, I try to signal out the brakes and the steering and the suspension and talk about all of that, but the Camaro is just, everything works together so well. Like, the steering has a great feel. Like, you can adjust the level of firmness through the drive modes, but I really like the way the steering feels. The steering wheel itself is comfortable. It's not too big. The brakes on the SS are very powerful. You can even upgrade if you want to go to the 1LE package and get, like, you know, bigger brakes, tauter suspension, a bunch of other goodies, wider wheels, and like a cornering ability of over 1G. So the SS is already a fantastic package, but if you want to take it to the next level, you have the 1LE. But the SS is a wonderful blend between, you know, a regular Camaro and the ZL1. The suspension is comfortable, and when you have the dual, or the magnetic ride control with the dual modes, you know, you can keep it comfortable, you can keep it more taut and sporty if you want to, but regardless, this really is a wonderful car to drive. It feels fantastic. The engine is so powerful, it sounds so good. Like, this is like the ideal equipped model right here. Dual mode exhaust, you know, depending on how you look at it, the automatic transmission, if you're just wanting just sheer brutal acceleration, like, I love it. This is a fantastic car. With the dual mode exhaust, this car sounds so good, and just, my gosh, as you feed into the throttle, the transmission shifts quicker and quicker. I mean, just listen to this. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. You probably can't hear it either, but when you downshift, oh, there it is. Ooh. There's a bunch of crackles that happen on overrun. Gosh. Oh, man. The steering is a ZF rack-mounted electrically assisted setup that actually has the ability to vary the steering ratio, making it super precise. The steering wheel itself is a flat bottom design. You have the SS logo in the bottom there, perforated leather across the sides, and grip bolsters at 2 and 10. You also have quite an array of multifunction controls, cruise control and a heated steering wheel, as well as forward collision warning on the left, some radio controls across the bottom, as well as voice commands, hands-free telephone, and your driver information system on the right. The driver's information system can be found in the big digital display in the middle of the instrument cluster. It packs all sorts of information: system options, phone, navigation, audio, various performance gauges, like tire temperature, G-force, and of course all of your typical stuff like digital speed readout, fuel data, trip data. You can even change the layout of the screen. Aesthetically, my favorite part of the Gen 6 Camaro is the interior. I love the layout. It's a bit less retro than the Gen 5, even though there are still some classic touches here and there, but they've really improved the build quality as well as the attention to detail. Like, it's a really nice interior to look at. It's pretty cool too how you see the top edge of the dash right there seamlessly flows into the door panels, while the center section of the dash kind of recesses into the door panel. It's stuff like that that I really like. Let's go ahead and talk about styling real quick, because it's probably an ongoing discussion in the comments already. So Chevy introduced the first batch of refreshes for the Gen 6 Camaro last year, for the 2019 model year, and there was enough feedback from the changes that they changed the front end again for 2020. So there's that. I personally like the 2016 through 2018 body styles just because I like more sharp-edged angular styling. It's kind of like, you know, how I really like first generation S10s, but I'm not a huge fan of the second gen because I don't like more roundish styling, I guess. But in this color, I think it actually looks a lot better than some of the other colors out there. I like how, you know, they got clear taillights back there. It's all very stealthy. The grille is very ZL1-like, very menacing, very imposing, and the headlights are really cool. At the end of the day, you know, everybody has their own personal tastes and opinions, but I think the changes that they introduced with the front end and the grille and stuff was very much appropriate. I think it looks a whole lot better than 2019. SS Camaros come standard with 20-inch wheels. However, it's an asymmetric setup. They're 8.5 inches wide in front and 9.5 inches wide in the rear. They're wrapped in Goodyear Eagle F1 summer tires, 245 40s in front and 275 35s in the rear. On the door panels, you have soft stitched padded material on the very top, as well as the middle and the armrest. There's a little bit of storage down below there. All of your power accessories and 2-person memory for the driver's seat up top, as well as a really nice strip of brushed aluminum for just that little bit of added detail. Both front seats are fully powered, so you have power sliding, recline, and height adjustment for both the driver and passenger. The seats are pretty comfortable overall. There's good padding, good side support, the headrests are adjustable. If I had to make one suggestion, it would be to add some adjustable lumbar. It feels a little lacking for me. In the 2SS, both front seats are heated and ventilated. The steering wheel also comes heated. A dual-zone automatic climate control system is also standard on the 2SS. You adjust temperature by twisting the big dials right here on the outside of the center air vents. I really like that. You have your ventilated and heated seat controls, different zones, fan speeds, syncing, as well as defrost. On the left side of the dash, you have controls for the heads-up display. You can adjust the height, the brightness, you can turn it off, and there's a whole bunch of information you can bring up. Across the center console, you have some padded sections on either side to serve as a comfortable knee brace. There's not a whole lot of storage throughout the interior, but across the console you do have the 2 cup holders. There's a 12-volt power outlet right in front of those, and if you open up the console, you have a little bit of space towards the rear with your media inputs. On the passenger side, you have a modest glove box. It's lockable and damped, so when you open it, it doesn't fly open and hit you in the legs. As far as infotainment, the SS comes standard with an 8-inch high-resolution capacitive touch display that functions very much like a smartphone. It's the same system between a 1SS and a 2SS, however the 2SS also has built-in navigation. The system is very easy to use. It does function very much like a smartphone, swiping back and forth, pinching. You have some shortcut keys down below there for some of your primary features, as well as some extra hard buttons, quick access to home, cycling between radio, volume, going back, so it's pretty straightforward. You also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in. Up top, you have a couple of LED reading lamps, OnStar controls, as well as an auto-dimming, frameless rear-view mirror with Garage HomeLink. Both of the visors have vanity mirrors with LED illumination. You also have hands-free Bluetooth microphones in both of the A-pillars, so the passengers can be heard equally. As far as safety features, the Camaro includes dual front, seat-mounted side impact, and knee airbags for the driver and front passenger. On top of that, the coupe models also have head curtain airbags for the front and the rear. The 2SS also includes a ton of driver assistance technologies, including a heads-up display, forward collision alert, rear park assist, rear cross traffic alert, and lane change alert with side blind zone alert. Of course, a backup camera is also standard. From what I remember, the Mustang and the Camaro are pretty similar when it comes to overall back seat space. If you're actually needing to carry people, I would suggest checking out the Challenger because it has the roomiest interior out of the three. The back seats do fold forward to make it a little easier climbing into the back, but you do have the seat belt to navigate around. There's no way to hook it on the seat or anything, so you just have to move it out of the way. There is no way you're going to fit a normal-sized human in the back of a Camaro. There is no head space, no leg space. Just about the only space you do have is for a child seat. So right now I have the seat slid all the way forward and the backrest almost all the way back to where I would normally sit, and this is how much legroom there is. So if you bring it back any more to a normal setting, the seat is going to be probably sitting about right here. So again, really not a lot of not a lot. There is no legroom. The other big concern if you've never driven one of these newer Camaros is visibility. The front door windows are kind of narrow. The rear quarter windows are just about non-existent, and there's a huge C-pillar. So you do have a blind spot here that you have to work around. You do get kind of used to it over time, but the Camaro and Challenger do offer better visibility in my opinion. So if that's a concern for you, it's worth taking a test drive and comparing the three. It is a nice looking back seat though. The color theme matches the front seats, and it's kind of like a bucket configuration. You also have child seat anchors to either side, and towards the front, you have a little bit of storage. If there's any other downside of the Camaro besides general visibility, it's going to be trunk space. It's not the most practical thing out there. After all, you only have 9.1 cubic feet worth, and the opening's kind of small. However, I have taken several trips in these cars, so it is practical enough as far as that's concerned. Just depends on how much stuff you want to bring with you. If needed, you also have the ability to fold the back seat completely flat so you can stow some longer items, or just have a flatter space to stow even more stuff. Well everyone, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2020 Chevrolet Camaro SS. Don't forget to leave a like below, it really helps the video a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so because there's a lot more content where that came from. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.